Welcome back. Today we are joined by Colton Saunders with Edward Jones to talk about what we should do with our tax refunds. Colton, thanks for joining us today.
Yep, great to be here, Mary Grace. Thanks for having me.
Of course, great to see you. And so, yes, we are at that time. We are submitting our taxes. Many people are going to start receiving their tax refunds. And a lot of people are probably planning on what they're going to do with it. I've been thinking about using it to get a car. So maybe I will rethink that when we go over this, Colton, because I know we want to maximize our tax returns when we get them, maximize those benefits. So Colton, what do you suggest we should be putting those tax refunds toward?
Well, good question, Mary Grace. And before I answer that question, I thought this was interesting. According to the IRS, the average refund amount last year was $2,750. So, if we're talking averages, that's kind of the average. So if you're kind of wondering, what your refund might be or where to start there. So first thing, I always go to my emergency fund first. So it's typically a good idea to have about 6 months of expenses on hand in a kind of a low risk account that's not going to be fluctuating, that you can get your hands onto easily. There's a few good reasons to have this around, not only if you need it, but also having this money also keeps you from dipping into like your retirement accounts or things like that in a time of need that maybe there's penalties associated with getting into. So it's a good thing to have a little extra cash on hand.
Nice, absolutely. So if we don't have an emergency fund built up, this would be something you would suggest we should go ahead and start on that.
Definitely agree, Mary Grace. And then, if we're thinking about maybe retirement, how can we jumpstart our retirement or add to our retirement savings? Maybe an IRA, contributing to your IRA. So always remember, you can still contribute to an IRA for last year, 2023, up until April 15th. So if you've already maxed out your IRA for last year, that's okay. Of course, we're in 2024, and so you could do a 2024 contribution, and the maximum that you can put into an IRA this year is $7,000 or $8,000 if you're 50 or older.
Okay.
So that's another idea for you.
Nice. You have until April 15th to contribute for your 2023, but if that kind of passes, you can do your 2024.
Of course.
Nice. And then what else are we looking at?
Yeah, so two other ideas. One, paying down debts. Of course, it may be best to find debts with a higher interest rate. Try to pay those down first. There's another common method called the debt snowball, and this is where you find the smallest debts and pay off the smallest of your loans first as quickly as possible to try to free up additional cash flow. So that's another idea. And the last one, Mary Grace, I have for you is contributing to 529 accounts. So if you have children or grandchildren that you would like to maybe help further their education someday, a 529 could help you do just that. And even some of them have tax benefits as well, depending on the state that you live in. So it's kind of a win-win for both parties.
Okay, excellent. So definitely a few options we should be looking toward to be maximizing those tax refunds. We're looking at contributing to your IRA, building that emergency fund if you don't have one or you just want to add more to it, contributing to a 529 plan, and of course, paying down debts. That's something I should be doing. How can we get in touch with you, Colton, to go over our financial goals?
Of course, give us a call. We're on the Belt Highway, 816-232-1205. We'd be happy to sit down and chat with you. Or as always, go to edwardjones.com, and there's several of us in town. We'd be happy to help.
Excellent, excellent. Sounds good. Well, Colton Saunders with Edward Jones. Colton, thanks again for joining us today.
Thank you, Mary Grace.
And stay with us. We'll be right back after a break.